So next is about the private cloud. In a private cloud model, the cloud infrastructure is provisioned for exclusive use by a single organization comprising multiple consumers. Okay, so there are two types of private cloud available: on-premise private cloud, and the second one is about the externally hosted private cloud. Okay, what is on-premise private cloud? Easy to understand. See, unlike public model, private model is restricted only for limited user. Whereas in public model, what happens? There is no restriction. Anybody can have an access to the cloud resources. It can be a data or network or any other form of the resources or tool or application or hardware, whatever the resource it may be. So any person, maybe an end user, okay, or an organization, can have an access to the resources provided by the cloud service provider, where in case of public cloud. Whereas in case of private cloud, there is a restriction. Only certain users can have access to these cloud tools, okay, or applications. See here, it is restricted only for the enterprise. A non-member from the enterprise cannot have an access to the data stored under this cloud. Okay, this diagram is called as on-premise private cloud and externally hosted. See, externally hosted private cloud is similar to it, but what happens? Cloud location, it is deployed in some other dedicated area. Okay, cloud service providers resources, so dedicated for each enterprise. So third party service provider, there is an agreement between the organization and third party service provider. So third party service provider keeps his server maybe uh, any of the city or abroad as per the company standards, right? So in that case, what happens is, it is maintaining a dedicated network, a dedicated storage array, or dedicated what service list for each and every organization. Non-member from the same thing, non-member from the particular organization cannot have an access to it. Okay, dedicated for each enterprise. You can see here, dedicated for enterprise P. Another enterprise, say Q, cannot have access to it. Okay, that is what private cloud is, externally hosted private cloud is. Next type is about community cloud. A community cloud model, the cloud infrastructure is provisioned for exclusive use by a specific community of consumers from organization that have shared the concern. Okay, so set of users, there are enterprises, organizations. Okay, for example, there are different colleges comes under the same university. So all the different colleges, say P, Q and R, they are what all the three different colleges, they are affiliated to same university. So all the three different colleges can have access to the university database. Getting no? So enterprise cloud, so enterprise cloud is one which lets enterprise P, enterprise Q as well as enterprise R can have an access to any of the resources of the cloud. Okay, if a non-member enterprise, say enterprise A, it is not listed under the same category, right, cannot have an access to the particular cloud. This is what called as community cloud. Okay, next is about the hybrid cloud. It is the cloud infrastructure. Okay, it's a composition of two or more distinct cloud infrastructure. Two or more distinct cloud infrastructure, a hybrid, sorry, a private, a community cloud, or a public cloud. So it can be a combination of public to public, or public to private, or public to community, or private to community, whatever. Okay, combination, a combination of two or more of this type, the type which are listed above, it is called as hybrid. Here is the diagram for hybrid cloud. See, there is a public cloud association in association with private cloud. So what happens is, enterprise P is maintaining its own resources under cloud. So all the members of enterprise P can have access to resources comes under particular cloud as well as the public cloud resources, right? So enterprise Q can have access to only the public cloud, but it cannot have access to the private cloud associated with enterprise P. Similarly, user R, end user, can have an access to the public cloud but cannot have access to the private cloud. So partially it is accessible, but however public and private cloud, they are interrelated somehow through enterprise P, right? Only the people from enterprise P can have an access to both the environment, that is its own cloud environment, as well as the public one, but whereas the remaining members can have access to the public part of the hybrid structure, right? That's it. That's about the cloud deployment model. Okay, there are four types of deployment model: public, private, community, as well as the hybrid cloud. Okay, that's it for this session. We'll see the cloud computing infrastructure concepts in the next session. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.